commentary for you on what is always a tasty London derby. West Ham host high-flying Tottenham this evening. They could go top of the Premier League with a win here and other results going their way, but it has not been a happy hunting ground for them in the last couple of seasons. And West Ham, of course, come into the game off the back of their first win of the season at Aston Villa on Sunday. The next line in my little script was about West Ham's new signing. They spent big money on him. He's a Brazilian who goes by the name of Lucas Paqueta, and he's just been given a lovely warm welcome to his new home. The bubbles are blowing, and he's walked out into the middle of the pitch and got a standing ovation from all the West Ham fans. Not starting the game this evening, he is named amongst the substitutes. Let's say hello for the first time this evening to my summariser for the game tonight, former West Ham defender, Wales international, James Collins. Exciting signing, James. West Ham have spent a lot of money this summer. They've finished 6th and 7th in the last couple of seasons. It's a real sign, isn't it, that the club are trying to push on?
It is. It's a huge intent from the club, Ali. Say that there's been a few grumblings in seasons gone by from West Ham fans that they haven't made enough signings. The squads weren't big. The squads haven't been big enough. And like I said, the owners have come out with real intent and made some great signings and spent a lot of money. So it's exciting times to be a West Ham fan.
Bubble machines are blowing furiously on the side of the pitch. The two teams make their way out into the arena. 4 giant flamethrowers on the opposite side of the stadium to us blast the flames in the air, and Declan Rice, with a little West Ham mascot standing in front of him, walks 10 yards out onto the pitch, turns and faces our stand. Tottenham Hotspur, their players in the white tracksuit tops, blue shorts and white socks. 3 wins and a draw in their 4 Premier League games so far this season, and we are just a few minutes away from kick-off. So in terms of that headline team news, Paqueta on the bench for West Ham. Another one of their big money signings this summer, the Italian centre-forward Gianluca Scamacca is absent with illness tonight. Michail Antonio gets the starting role up front. He has an excellent scoring record against Tottenham. And actually, James, on the Tottenham front, which is quite interesting, is to see Son Heung-min starting again. Not been in his absolutely tip-top form so far this season. Richarlison has joined it, is playing well, but Antonio Conte has gone with Son again.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of talk in the press and leading up to the game whether Richarlison was going to play, and the manager's made a big call. Son, he hasn't been at his best, granted, this season, but he never, you always know what you're going to get. He puts a shift in and does well for the team. So it's a surprising one, but didn't surprise me as much as it would.
So 2 teams just finished off the customary pre-match handshakes, and we're about ready to get underway. 3 changes for West Ham tonight. Got that first win of the season away at Aston Villa on Sunday through the Pablo Fornals deflected shot, which beat Emiliano Martinez. Vladimir Sofal comes in for the injured Ben Johnson. Saeed Benrahma in for Emerson. Now that was a change that David Moyes made at half-time in the game at Villa Park on Sunday, and actually West Ham's start tonight the way they finished in that game on Sunday. Michail Antonio, as I said, starting up front. Fabianski in goal. Vladimir Sofal at right back. It'll be a back 4 to start this evening. Aaron Cresswell on the left. Thilo Kehrer, another one of the summer signings, at centre-back alongside Kurt Zouma. Rice and Souček, a very familiar midfield pairing. Jared Bowen, Pablo Fornals, Saeed Benrahma in support of Michail Antonio. And just the one change for Tottenham, a significant one though. Yves Bissouma, signed from Brighton this summer. His first start for his new club this season. He comes into central midfield in place of the Uruguayan Rodrigo Bentancur. Hugo Lloris in goal. They continue with the back 3. Davinson Sanchez on the right-hand side of that 3. Christian Romero still out injured at the moment. Eric Dyer in the middle. And James's former international teammate Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Ivan Perisic, left wing-back. Emerson Royal has started every single game so far this season. Matt Doherty remains on the bench. He's the right wing-back. Højbjerg alongside Bissouma in central midfield. Kulusevski and Son in support of Harry Kane. I'm already looking at my video printer in front of me. I can see, guess who has scored for Manchester City this evening. Erling Haaland has another. Manchester City lead Nottingham Forest by a 0-0. Commentary of that game available via the BBC Sports website and app. That is similar for the games between Bournemouth and Wolves, Arsenal and Aston Villa. All of those kicked off at 7:30. Full commentary on this one for you on 5 Sports Extra here. We're also available on that BBC Sounds app, which if you haven't got on your device yet, then make sure you do that. And on 5 Live this evening, full commentary on the 8 o'clock kickoff, which is Liverpool against Newcastle. Wonderful chorus inside the London Stadium. James Collins has heard that plenty of times before. In terms of favourites for this one ahead of kick-off, James, do we have to say Tottenham just for the form they've shown so far this season?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you've got to say Tottenham come into it favourites. No question of it. West Ham haven't been at their best at the start of the season. Even on Sunday, I was at the game. Didn't perform overly well, but got the win that they needed, hopefully to kick-start their season.
Just about ready to go then. Referee is Peter Banks. He's just waiting for the nod from the officials on the side of the field, making sure that the TV companies are out of the ad breaks and ready to go. We're not bothered by that, of course, on radio. Antonio Conte has the business face on, all in black this evening, arms crossed, and he's got those sort of deep piercing eyes which are just staring across the field. Although in terms of a sort of stare out match, Moyes against Conte, because David Moyes does a very decent stare as well, would be quite a battle too. Harry Kane is waiting to kick us off.
Wouldn't fancy getting on the wrong side of either of them, to be honest, Ellie, I think.
I've had the experience of both in a post-match interview, where if the question you ask is not the one that the manager wants,
you get the stare.
It's just the stare, and the stare's not comfortable. Great noise inside the stadium. It's not quite full as yet, actually. Fans have been coming in very late, and kick-off is ever so slightly delayed. Referee Peter Banks just chatting to a couple of the Tottenham players in the centre circle at the moment. They're itching to go. West Ham's record against Tottenham in this fixture on this ground in the last couple of seasons has been very good. They won it 1-0 last season when Nuno Espirito Santo was in charge of Tottenham at the time. Michail Antonio scored the goal. They won it 2-1 the season before. Michail Antonio scored in that 2-1 win as well. And now one of the assistant referees appears late onto the field, goes trotting off to the other side of the field, and that's why we've been delayed, James. So whether it's a problem with the technology, the flag, the boots, the shorts...
I don't often have a good thing to say about a linesman anyway, to be honest.
He's ready. We're ready. And we're delighted to have your company this evening. Commentaries everywhere you look available via the BBC tonight, and we'll keep you across all the goals as they go in the Premier League and of course the Football League as well. We're underway. Tottenham defending the goal away to our right hand side in front of the Sir Trevor Brooking stand. Blue sky gently fading above us. This sort of giant triangular floodlights dotted all the way around the stadium, shining brightly as Harry Kane flicks on, looking for his strike partner Son. Tottenham work it back into midfield. Yves Bissouma gets a first touch of the evening, floats a pass out wide right to the Brazilian Emerson Royal. Højbjerg into Bissouma. Tottenham play back into their own half, and Eric Dyer comes bouncing forward up towards the halfway line, plays out to his right. Højbjerg scuttles forward about 5 yards. Emerson Royal wide on the right, and Tottenham happy just to keep the ball early on. So if Tottenham can get the win this evening, they would need Arsenal to lose at home against Aston Villa. That game is underway. It's 0-0 at the moment, and Manchester City not to beat Nottingham Forest, but they're already 1-0 up, and Tottenham could possibly go top of the Premier League table tonight. Kane's layoff here to Kulusevski, dances past Cresswell, plays it in towards Son. He's stumbling inside the penalty area. He goes down. Thilo Kehrer goes down, and the free kick actually goes West Ham's way. Here's James Collins.
It's very good defending from Kehrer, I must say. Tottenham comfortable in possession, West Ham dropping a little bit deep early on, letting sort of feeling the game out, letting Tottenham have the ball, and Kehrer's come across and cleaned up a good run from Son and got the foul.
Free kick West Ham. Lucas Fabianski, now playing in his 16th season of Premier League football, having made his debut for Arsenal as a 22-year-old back in 2007. Clears the ball long with his right foot, drops inside the Tottenham half, bit scrappy in there. Tottenham want a handball against Thomas Souček, and they get the decision. And here's one for you as well on the stats front. Michail Antonio becomes the 5th West Ham player to make 200 Premier League appearances this evening. Now, obviously, there are players who played plenty of games for West Ham before the advent of the Premier League. That is a Premier League statistic, but it is still an impressive one. Mark Noble way out in front on 414. Aaron Cresswell, Carlton Cole and Steve Potts, the other men in the 200 club, alongside Michail Antonio. The man sitting alongside me, James Collins, got very close for West Ham with 188. Here's Emerson Royal on the right-hand side, drives in a right-footed shot, palmed away by Fabianski. Cresswell smacks it out for a throw into Tottenham. James.
Quite a slow start from West Ham, Ali. Like I said, they've dropped quite deep, letting Tottenham have the ball, and they've had a couple of opportunities early on.
Yeah, Tottenham are on it. Basuma bursting forward, just knocks the second touch too far ahead of him, was heading for the byline, and it runs out for a goal kick. So the start to the game for West Ham, in a way, James, sort of mirroring, as you were saying, their start to the season, just not quite out of the blocks yet, are they?
Yeah, it was similar at Villa Park on Sunday as well, Ali. You know, they, like you say, perfect analogy, come out of the blocks slow, and this game they have as well. It's such a big occasion. I remember playing in these games, so I've mentioned him a few times. I know he's retired now, but we always had Mark Noble in the dressing room or on the pitch. He was always the first one to make a tackle, if you like, to set the tone, and West Ham, you know, have missed that in the early stages.
Long clearance from Fabianski. Dyer battles with Antonio for the ball. It's loose on the edge of the Tottenham area. Emerson Royal clears with his right foot only as far as Cresswell. Nice first touch to bring it down. Plays it down the left-hand side. Loose pass infield from Ben Rama. Can't find Souček. Kane is onto it for Tottenham. Just clips it with the instep of his right boot. Not at much pace to Perisic. Perisic lays it back to Ben Davies. Into the feet of Basuma. Back to Dyer, and Declan Rice, high on the press, comes charging up the field.
Declan Rice is already just trying to squeeze West Ham up the pitch to put more pressure on the ball, because Tottenham are having it too easy at the minute.
Now Tottenham have beaten that press, and Declan Rice has got to come chasing back. He won't catch Son. Son moving forward at speed. Plays it wide to Perisic. Perisic going to have a run at Sofal. Ducks inside. Little low cross into the near post. Cleared away and behind for a corner by Kurt Zouma. First attacking set piece of the game will go Tottenham's way. In fact, it's gone out for a throw, beg your pardon.
That's the problem, Ali. If Declan Rice goes and presses like that, the whole team have got to be up behind him, because otherwise, if one pass and Tottenham are out.
Perisic has received the ball from the throw, tries to clip a low left-footed cross into the area. Sofal is in his face, blocks it with his shins, and it goes out for another throw into Tottenham. So Arsenal, Villa, Bournemouth, Wolves, Man City, Nottingham Forest, all 7:30 kickoffs. The only goal so far tonight belongs to Manchester City. Erling Haaland with it. They lead Nottingham Forest by a goal to nil, and already you feel Nottingham Forest in that game are kind of stick or twist. That's a problem, that, isn't it, in terms of do you go chasing the game, because you could get absolutely torn apart.
I've been 3-0 down against Man City before after 12 minutes. Not a good experience.
How did it finish?
3-0. We were quite happy at the end.
0-0 here between West Ham and Tottenham. 5 minutes played on Radio 5 Sports Extra. All those other commentaries available for you online via the BBC Sport website and app. And West Ham have it. Cresswell pokes it to Souček inside the West Ham half. Forward to Ben Rama, gets away from Basuma. Good run being made by Bowen. Bowen up to the edge of the Tottenham area on his right foot, hits the shot, drags it, and it goes well wide and behind for a goal kick to Tottenham.
I was just talking about the West Ham pressing. Tottenham lost the ball and tried to press West Ham, and a good ball out from the back, and Ben Rama's away. Nice ball into Bowen, and he's on the wrong side really. He light on his left foot and dragged the shot wide.
Just seen another goal go up on the video printer, and then the screen's gone blank in front of me, but it looks like Erling Haaland has a second tonight already. Yes, 23rd minute of the game. Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 2-0. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0 here at the London Stadium. Højbjerg's pass forward intercepted. Ben Rama, support on the outside here from Pablo Fornals. Fornals on the corner of the Tottenham area, works it onto his right foot. Cresswell steaming up outside him. Hugo Lloris decides to palm the shot away. It was quite close to him. Maybe he was slightly unsighted. It's gone behind for a West Ham corner.
Much better last few minutes from West Ham. You know, they're clearly going to sit back and and try and defend well and win the ball and break. And there's certainly the last 2 chances in the last couple of minutes. That's exactly what they've done.
First goal in the Championship tonight belongs to Swansea. Stoke 0, Swansea 1. Corner West Ham. Jarrod Bowen now will hit a corner with his left foot, right underneath the crossbar. Lloris punches under pressure from Antonio. The referee, Peter Banks, didn't like the challenge, and actually West Ham player down. That might be Kurt Zouma, who's been clattered in the box. Let's have a look, James, on the
Hugo Lloris has done really well there. It's a great ball in from Jarrod Bowen, I believe, right underneath the crossbar, and he's brave. Lloris has come out, obviously Kurt Zouma's a big lad steaming in on him, and he's dominant, and he's come out and punched the ball. He's done really well, Lloris.
You could see, James, that was the tactic first corner, wasn't it, to put Lloris under that little bit of pressure. But as you say, been there, seen it, done it, knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And Tottenham would have done their homework. They know set plays and corners, with the height and the sort of delivery that West Ham have got from set plays. It's a huge part of their game. So so it's a good early sort of demanding clearance from Hugo Lloris.
Angelo Ogbonna has been sent out to warm up. Nice applause for him as he does a little jog and a stretch down the touchline. Kurt Zouma's on his feet. Think he's going to be okay. Just moving slowly but surely along the dead ball line, sort of flexing his neck muscles and just making sure that he's okay to get back into the action.
Angelo Ogbonna has strangely got trainers on warming up. Ali,
that's a good spot.
That's a new one on me. That all the years I played, I don't think I've seen that.
Very good spot from up here. Spot on from James Collins. Don't think he's going to be needed because Zouma's jogging now, heading back towards the halfway line, and Lloris has taken Tottenham's free kick from inside the penalty area, and here's Bissouma. So impressive for Brighton in his time there, wearing number 38 for Tottenham. Those numbers in dark blue etched on the back of the bright white shirt. Run through the middle from Kulusevski. He's lost Zouma. He's in between the 2 West Ham centre-backs. Zouma throws himself at the ball, was fouled, but won the header anyway. West Ham get the free kick. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. 9 minutes played in the first half, and Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to 0. Goalless elsewhere in the Premier League so far this evening. Fabianski has got a sort of fetching blend of dark green jersey and shorts, slightly lighter green socks, and then sets it off with vivid orange gloves which match the boots. He clears with his right boot. Dyer wins the first header. Perisic nods it forward. Declan Rice with another header, chested down in midfield by Bissouma. Perisic comes back to Ben Davies, and Ben Davies, under pressure from Jarrod Bowen, just rolls it gently back to his goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Played out via Dyer to Bissouma. Now Højbjerg just rolls his pass across the Tottenham half to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez back to Højbjerg. West Ham are backed off to the halfway line here. Højbjerg floats a lovely diagonal out to the left-hand side, chested down by Davies, runs forward, curls the ball into the far post, and Cresswell had to get a touch on that, flicks the header away, and it goes out for a throw into Tottenham on the right.
It's a great ball in from Ben Davies. Again, West Ham sitting back, allowing Tottenham possession, quite comfortable possession, and Ben Davies is, playing left centre-half, has found himself, in a crossing position, obviously playing left-back. He's got the quality in it, and it's a great ball in.
Tottenham, having taken the throw, have the ball 35 yards from goal in a central position. Davies into the feet of Kulusevski, tries to dart through a little gap. The door is closed on him quickly. West Ham clear to the halfway line. Dyer fires it forward to Ben Davies. Replay monitor on the blink at the moment, and James has given it, it's exactly what I would do, just giving it the good old-fashioned
tap on the side.
It worked. He's given it a tap, and it's come back into a clear picture, which is good news. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0, and we're a couple of minutes from kick-off in the commentary game on 5 Live this evening. Vicky Sparks and Dion Dublin at Anfield for Liverpool against Newcastle. Perisic with a step over, then the cross comes into the far post. Kane's headed down. Tottenham want handball. Kane on the rebound, hits another shot. Penalty's given. The penalty is given for Tottenham. Kane's first header was blocked. Peter Banks has pointed to the spot. The video assistant referee, who is Stuart Atwell this evening, will check that and check the referee's decision.
I don't think it needs checking, Ali. I think Perisic has done really well down the left. A little dink back to Harry Kane, and I think Cresswell knows he's the wrong side and sort of jumped with his arms out to try and put him off, maybe. And from where I'm sat, and I haven't seen a replay yet, but it seemed a clear penalty from here.
Harry Kane had the chance from the penalty spot against Nottingham Forest at the weekend. Dean Henderson went low to his right and saved it. A first miss in 22 penalties for Tottenham, for Kane for that one. Absolutely no doubt about who's taking this one this evening, though. Harry Kane has the ball tucked under his right arm, and we're just waiting at the moment for Stuart Atwell to confirm the decision that Peter Banks has made on the field.
I think you can tell by Cresswell's reaction. I think he knows it's going to be a penalty given.
West Ham players just loitering around the penalty area at the moment. Peter Banks with his hands on his hips. A couple of West Ham fans sitting alongside us in the stands here, rather interested, looking for a replay. It's now gone up on the big screen. I think everyone knows this. Checking penalty for handball. We're not actually getting the replay on our screen at the moment, although James felt in real time that Aaron Cresswell knew he was going to be in trouble. So here's the delay inside the stadium. I think football fans getting far more used to this now in Premier League football as we wait for...
It still takes far too long.
Sometimes, yeah, it does.
It can. A long time, you know. If it's clear cut, I don't see how it can take so long.
Yeah, which makes me wonder.
Maybe it's close to
possibly. Yeah. Maybe it's not quite as clear cut as we think. Still hanging around, and Fabianski, West Ham's keeper, who's going to have to try and save the penalty if it's confirmed, has moved all the way to the edge of the box, and now he's walking away off to the corner flag. Tottenham players continue their protestations with Peter Banks. I'm hearing the words clear and obvious from the West Ham fans to my left-hand side. I guess they're arguing if it's not clear and obvious.
I've gone so strong it's a penalty. This could be the end of my radio career.
It won't be, James. Don't worry about that. Don't you worry about that. Conversations continue. And if it's taken this long, then I think Stuart Atwell is going to have to send Peter Banks over to the pitch-side monitor to get him to make the final decision on this one, because we have not got pictures of what Stuart Atwell is looking at here, unless there's something else actually, James, in the build-up to the goal that they're looking at as well. Right, he's getting some communication now. This has taken a good couple of minutes already, and still no decision from the video assistant referee. Gabriel Jesus, I see, has scored for Arsenal. They lead Aston Villa by a goal to nil. Manchester City are 2-0 up on Nottingham Forest. We apologise for the delay for you listening to us. Son Heung-min now involved in the conversations as well. Long wait for the penalty taker, Harry Kane, who missed that one on Sunday.
I think one thing that would make the IR better as a supporters and friends who watch football is we should be listening to what the referee is saying.
I'll tell you something about that in a minute, actually, James. It's a good point you make. Right. Referee Peter Banks, the big roar you heard was the West Ham fans, because he's drawn that imaginary image of a monitor in the air, and he has been sent over to have another look at whether he feels his initial call of penalty is correct. We're doing our best to have a look at this on the images we've got of him looking at the monitor. Kane up at the far post. We've not got the best picture there, James. We can't really tell. Cresswell's close to Kane, isn't he, as he jumps?
It may have flicked off Cresswell's head first. And then onto his hand, maybe.
Yes, here we go. Change of decision, no penalty.
No penalty.
And that's why. I think you've got that right, James. I think that has hit another part of Cresswell's body first, then onto his arm, and referee Peter Banks reverses his decision. That took a long time, but by the laws of the game, if we've read that right, that is the correct decision.
I mean, to get to that decision in that time, though, it's taken far too long. Obviously, they've come up with the right decision in the end. It's just going up on the screen for the fans to see now.
Yeah. But actually, they can't see clearly enough on that screen that it's hit maybe Cresswell's face before it's hit his arm. It's a slightly blurred picture. That maybe doesn't help the situation.
I'm sure, obviously, they've come to the right conclusion, but
yeah,
I don't see how that's taken so long to come to that decision.
And I think the point you make, James, is right in terms of, we always liken it to the NFL. Referee comes to the side of the pitch, he's mic'd up, explains to everyone what's happened, why the penalty's not given, then everyone inside the stadium knows what's happened. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. Tottenham on the attack. Kane's ball into the West Ham penalty area. Kulusevski onto the clearance, edge of the box, hits a shot. That is blocked by Fornals. Fornals plays a little 1-2 with Ben Rama. West Ham under a little bit of pressure here, but surviving at the moment. Still West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. It's not that you ever need anything to really spice up a London derby between West Ham and Tottenham, but that decision, possibly, and the delay surrounding it, may just have added a little extra to the game. So foul, very nearly did a Neymar there with a back heel flick over the head of Ben Davies, trying to collect it the other side. Davies clears, throw in for West Ham on the right. 0-0. Sofal's throw, looking for Antonio. Bissouma sticks out a leg, blocks it. Another throw for West Ham, who need to try and find a footing in the game. And David Moyes is trying to get a message onto the field to Declan Rice, just to try and get them a bit steadier.
I think strangely, a decision like that, or the weight, like you say, Ali, might spur. You can hear the West Ham fans have got up now and are supporting the team. So maybe that was as strange and as long as it took. Maybe that's the thing that's going to get West Ham, into this game.
Sofal's throw, half cleared by Tottenham. Bissouma jumps with Bowen. Rice hits that well saved as well by Hugo Lloris. Bouncing ball, Declan Rice, I think with his wrong foot there, lashed that at goal. Lloris saw it late and it knocked him off his feet as he made the save. Out for a throw, and West Ham from the throw have won a corner. What a strike by Declan Rice.
Yeah, you mentioned there, Declan Rice hasn't got a bad foot, Ali, to be honest. I played with him and trained with him for long enough. He's technically, just as good on both feet. But I think Bowen did well, got up for a header and the ball's dropped to him, and it's a tremendous strike.
West Ham enjoying a good little spell. 17 minutes gone in this game. You're listening to it on 5 Sports Extra. James Collins, former West Ham, Aston Villa, Wales international, alongside us as Bowen works a 1-2 with Fornals. He's overhit the cross and it bounces away and out for a goal kick to Tottenham. That is an attacking opportunity wasted.
It's poor, to be honest, Ali, from West Ham. They would have worked on their set plays. I know David Moyes, I've worked with him. He takes so much pride and time on his set plays, and to see something like that will infuriate David Moyes on the sideline.
Liverpool-Newcastle underway then. That's our commentary game on 5 Live tonight. This is West Ham 0, Tottenham 0 on Sports Extra. Both available via the BBC Sounds app as well. Just download that to your device. Look for your station. Spin the wheel, click on the station, and you'll get the commentary. And of course on the BBC Sounds app, all those fabulous podcasts as well. Football Daily podcast there for you every single day. There will be another very good listen for you tomorrow morning after a busy night of Premier League action. We're recording the next episode of the Fantasy 606 podcast tomorrow morning. That'll be out later on tomorrow. So Erling Haaland owners and Gabriel Jesus owners in their fantasy teams will be very happy so far this evening. Ball's gone behind from a Souček cross for a Tottenham goal kick. And Michail Antonio, who's out there this evening, has his very own podcast on the BBC Sounds app. If you're not aware of that, go and have a listen to the Footballers Football Show. It's him and Callum Wilson. This week they get into conversation, amongst other things, about the Richarlison showboating at Nottingham Forest on Sunday. What would you have done, James?
Well, I'd like to hear what Michail Antonio's reaction is to that.
Okay.
Knowing him and playing with him and seeing his celebrations, I'm sure he'll be on Richarlison's side.
Have a listen. Footballers Football podcast available via the BBC Sounds app. Tottenham knocking it around at the back at the moment. You're not missing any crucial action. 19 and a half minutes gone in the first half. Eric Dyer on the ball, looks to his right. Davinson Sanchez strides forward inside his own half towards Kane, turns the pass around the corner to Kulusevski. Højbjerg, the next one to be involved in the move, can't find Son with the pass, and West Ham have it with Sofal in the right back position. West Ham player down. Is that? Who's that? He's taken a knock off the ball.
Bowen, just off the ball, I think.
Bowen off the ball. Oh, and Bissouma's furious. He had the ball tucked under his arm and he's punched it down into the turf and away. We'll have a look on the monitor at what actually happened, and is Bissouma going to get booked for his reaction to the decision? Let's have a look. He's trodden on his heel, is he?
I think Jarrod Bowen's just trying to make a run down the side into the channel, and Bissouma, to be honest, from here, and seeing the replay, looked like an accident, but obviously his reactions got him the yellow card. It's infuriating.
What a crazy yellow card,
for managers and players around you. If he was to go on and get another yellow card, and get sent off in such a big game, doing something like that is stupid.
In the position that he plays, where you've got to be snapping into the challenges. Bentancur is on the bench, so Antonio Conte's got that to think about, but it was definitely for the reaction. Bowen was caught. He was caught accidentally. He had every right to go down because his heel was trodden on. West Ham get the free kick and Bissouma gets booked. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 2-0. Erling Haaland, not a bad signing. He's got both of them. And Gabriel Jesus, what a signing actually Arsenal made with him. Another one for him this evening, leading Aston Villa by 1-0. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0 in Bournemouth's first game since the 9-0 drubbing at Anfield and since Scott Parker left the club. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0 at Anfield. Declan Rice plays to the left, gets the ball back. He's inside the Tottenham half, cross to the German Thilo Kehrer. Jared Bowen comes short, gets it off Kehrer, plays it wide to Sofal. Haaland hat-trick. Erling Haaland has a hat-trick in the first half against Nottingham Forest. 38 minutes to score the 3 goals. So hat-trick against Crystal Palace in the comeback win, hat-trick against Nottingham Forest tonight. Good football from West Ham. Benrahma towards Antonio, running at Dyer. Oh, he's hit the outside of the post. It was a fabulous strike with his right foot. Lloris was beaten for pace, beaten for placement, and it's clipped the outside of the post.
It's really unlucky from West Ham, lovely. I think it was Said Benrahma round the corner to Mikel Antonio's cut inside onto his right foot, and a thunderous sort of curling shot. It's hit the upright and gone out for a goal kick. But it's much better. Tottenham sort of dominated for the first 8 to 10 minutes, and now West Ham are really into it. Sorry, it was Fornals round the corner to Benrahma, and then Benrahma's played a nice ball into Mikel Antonio, and it's a great effort and very unfortunate.
Tottenham 0, West Ham 0. Should be the other way round, of course, considering where we're playing. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. West Ham the closest there to opening the scoring. Tottenham breathe a sigh of relief, take the goal kick, knew they were going to be in for a battle this evening. Mikel Antonio, as I said at the start of the night, loves a goal against Tottenham. 6 in 11 Premier League games, including in the last 3 home games as well. Very nearly had another one there. Scamacca not available tonight, but lovely for David Moyes now to have those options up front for West Ham, the Italian international, and Mikel Antonio. Tottenham playing a bit of keep ball again inside their own half. 0-0. Arsenal leading Villa by a goal to 0, and Manchester City already 3-0 up on Nottingham Forest, which may well give Pep Guardiola the opportunity to rest some players ahead of the weekend and ahead of Champions League action next week. West Ham put the pressure on Tottenham, and Sanchez, all he can do is clear the ball out for a throw.
It's brilliant from West Ham. Like you said, they're happy for Tottenham to have the ball, but when there is a sloppy pass or the ball's played backwards, the West Ham team are all squeezing up and putting the Tottenham players under real pressure, and they say it's concluded in Tottenham just kicking the ball out of play and West Ham getting the ball back.
Has changed actually since Tottenham had the penalty decision reversed. The whole momentum of the game has changed in the first half. Sofal on the right, can't find Bowen. Ben Davies steps in, plays a pass to Højbjerg. Højbjerg looks up, sees the longer ball is on, floats it over the top of the West Ham defence, collected by Kulusevski on the right hand side. Emerson Royal comes forward in support, laid back to Højbjerg, first time low shot, and Son jumps over it right in front of Fabianski. He wasn't going to be full, makes a very comfortable save behind him and runs out to the edge of his penalty area. A decent first half.
Yeah, it's been great. Like I said, Tottenham probably had the most of the possession early on, but West Ham, like I say, since the penalty decision have certainly been the better side.
Now that's a foul, that's a double foul from Ben Davies on Jared Bowen, through the back of him with the initial one. His momentum took him into Bowen again. So Jared Bowen in the wars at the moment, definite free kick, no argument there. Ben Davies just letting him know he's there. And as James will know, of course, as every Welshwoman, Welsh person will be, hugely, it's coming so fast now, isn't it, that World Cup?
It's going to be incredible. Like I said, I was lucky enough to play in the Euros, Ali, in 2016, and they did it again. But for Wales to get to a World Cup and to go and the players and the servant like Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, who've served Wales so well over the years, to go and have a chance at a World Cup is incredible, and the whole country is in anticipation.
You'll hear every minute of it on BBC Radio 5 Live and 5 Sports Extra. Wales, of course, in England's group along with USA and Iran. World Cup starting at the end of November. 25 minutes into this game. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. Tottenham have the ball again. They've worked it into the West Ham half. Bissouma's chased by Antonio, so he turns back. Sanchez to Dyer, forward to Højbjerg and back to Dyer. Bissouma in the centre circle is able to look forward, get his head up, rolls a pass sideways to Sanchez, and West Ham have all the gaps covered at the moment. Højbjerg starts to make a run down the inside left channel. Ben Davies in support wide on the left. Harry Kane collects it, corner of the West Ham box, low sort of cross-come shot straight into the arms of Fabianski.
It sort of proves how well a good a job West Ham are doing. You know, if Harry Kane's wide on the left trying to cut inside and bend the shot, you know, you'd much as a centre back or as a defender for West Ham, you'd much rather him out there than being up against you, holding the ball up, bringing players into play. So like I said, Tottenham have had a fair share of possession, but West Ham are defending really well.
Fabianski, slightly risky pass to his right to Kehrer. Son almost closed it down. Kehrer clears with his right foot up towards Antonio, just over his head, who's trying to win the flick on, and Jared Bowman's on the move to collect that. Emerson Royale plays back to Lloris. Lloris awkwardly stabs the ball with his right foot out wide to the right. Benrahma senses an opportunity, closes Royale down into the Tottenham penalty area. They've come out well with the ball. Here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg sees Harry Kane dropping deep inside his own half. Declan Rice stays with him, wide to Perisic. Not seen too much of him in the first half so far. Has got the beating here of Sofal. Down to the byline he goes. Little cut back into the near post. Dealt with by West Ham. Clearance picked up by Kane, wide on the left, getting booed by the West Ham fans. Give and go with Højbjerg. Back to Kane, crossing to the area. Zuma heads it away over the head of Jared Bowen. West Ham fans shout for a free kick. They thought he was pushed by Eric Dyer. He wasn't. Here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg steaming forward again. Finds Kane. Lovely touch to keep it moving. Kulusevski cuts it just behind Son, who couldn't get a first-time shot away and couldn't control it either to try and hit the shot on the turn. And the game is beautifully open now, because here come West Ham with the ball. And Declan Rice just takes his time and slows it down for West Ham. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, it's needed it from Declan just to slow the pace down, because Tottenham, you know, had a good couple of opportunities. Harry Kane coming off, getting the ball turning, looking for the 1-2s around the edge of the box, and you know, if it was for a better pass, you know, there was a chance there for Tottenham.
Just seen a little headline pop up on the screen of my iPad here saying Andy Murray through to the third round of the US Open tennis from 10 o'clock on Sports Extra tonight. Continued coverage of day 3. Here's Antonio on the right. Hits Ben Davis. West Ham fans screaming for handball. Davis very sensibly had both hands tucked very tightly by his side. No penalty given. Antonio has the ball again, wide on the right. Drags it under the studs of his right boot. Comes back to Declan Rice in central midfield. Puts a bit of pace on the pass to the left. Cresswell controls it. Out wide to Benrahma. Benrahma's ball in, too close to Lloris. Bounces once and into the arms of the goalkeeper. I did the commentary, James, on the Nottingham Forest game. I thought Benrahma was one of West Ham's best players, actually, in that game, with the sort of danger that he created against Nottingham Forest. Not seen quite so much of it yet this evening.
Yeah, it's in there. You know, with Benrahma, you know, I've seen games where he's been anonymous, if you like, you know, and not done anything. Other games you think, you know, he could be a world beater. You know, that's what David Moyes, you know, where he's in and out of the side. David Moyes wants him to be a 7 out of 10 or, you know, 8 out of 10, not chucking the odd 4 out of 10, you know. So, you know, there's no doubt there's talent there, but he just needs to show it on a more regular basis.
Ball with Tottenham. Dyer has it. Half-time at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Erling Haaland has his second Premier League hat-trick. Son's foul just inside the Tottenham half. Jared Bowen was racing away with the ball. That's why you'll hear the irate West Ham fans standing next to me in our commentary position here, but that is a free kick for Tottenham. And Blackburn have taken the lead away at Blackpool in the Championship. Ben Brereton Diaz again with the goal for Blackburn. The only other goal in the Championship so far this evening, according to the screen in front of me, is Swansea with the early lead away at Stoke. Stoke 0, Swansea 1. Here's Dyer, 10 yards inside his own half. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0, and just 15 minutes remaining in the first half here. Dyer just delays on releasing the pass forward, so Tottenham keep it inside their own half again. Højbjerg crosses the halfway line onto his right foot. Sees Davinson Sanchez just creeping over the halfway line. Quickly to Bissouma, try to flick a pass to Emerson Royale. Read by Declan Rice, wins it back for West Ham. And here's Cresswell in his green boots. Forward to Souček. Souček spins it out to Kehrer. Kehrer wide to Sofal, right under the nose of Antonio Conte. Curls the pass down the touchline. Bowen couldn't keep it in play. And that is a throw-in for Tottenham on the left.
Yeah, I've mentioned it a few times now, Tottenham having possession, and a night like this, Ali, as a defender, concentration is everything from these West Ham boys. There's no doubt Tottenham, as we spoke about, are going to have more possession and try and look for the intricate passes around the box, but like I said, at the minute West Ham are blocking all the holes and defending well, and that's going to have, that's the beauty of top class centre halves. The concentration levels have got to be so high in the Premier League.
Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. Half-time scoreline in the Premier League. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Long ball over the top for Son to chase, is beyond him, bounces once and Fabianski catches it and slings it out in the same movement. Rice to Fornals, fires it towards Antonio, too much on the pass, couldn't control it, doesn't chase it either, that's a lost cause. And so Tottenham are able to pick up possession with Eric Dyer under no pressure at all, just outside his own penalty area. Short pass forward to Højbjerg, tries to pick up the pace for Tottenham. Son comes towards him, lays it back to Højbjerg. Zuma came with Son, then has to turn on his heel and get back there. Floated pass down the left for Kane to chase. Kane gets there first. Kehrer sticking to him like glue, forces him out wide to the left-hand side. Good vision from Kane, looking for the run from Højbjerg. Fabianski saw it as well, off his line quickly and collects it for West Ham.
Yeah, nice little ball from Harry Kane. He's done really well. Højbjerg making a late run, third man run from midfield into the box, and you've got to say Fabianski done well to see the run and come out and claim the ball.
Just watching Michail Antonio running off the ball there. Two real full pelt sprints to try and get into position for a pass that's going to be released, obviously having to stop in between. That is the frustration of the forward, putting that effort in, pass not released, has another go, pass not released. Here he goes again, making ground in the middle. Low cross comes in, Antonio's there, but Dyer's there as well, gets a foot on it and clears it out for a throw-in to West Ham on the left-hand side. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0.
That's one thing about Michail Antonio, he sometimes doesn't have the best game touch and that, but he always puts a shift in and puts in 100% every time he puts on the West Ham shirt.
Declan Rice, lofted pass to the right. Sofal controls it, closed down by Perisic. The ball is played back to Souček. Souček to Zuma. Rice steaming forward for West Ham, gives it to Benrahma, stretch, couldn't control it. Tottenham are going to be dangerous on the counter here. Kulusevski quickly up on the right hand side, Kane plays it to him. Son is lurking on the edge of the box. Kulusevski is up there on the right, into the box he goes. Kane on the outside, Kane with the cut across, and Son gets a touch on it, I think, and it ends up in the back of the West Ham net. Tottenham absolutely deadly on the counter attack there. 12 minutes before half time, it's West Ham 0, Tottenham 1.
Absolutely deadly from Tottenham. This is the first time really Declan Rice has pushed forward for West Ham. He's tried a little 1-2 on the edge of the box to get a chance on goal. One good win, Tottenham win the ball back, one good pass out to Harry Kane, and West Ham have left 3-on-3, and we all know what Tottenham do in that position.
Tottenham players continue the celebrations. We'll have another look at goal on the replay monitor. Harry Kane onside before he hits the cross own goal. Thilo Kehrer, I think, got the final touch. Had he not got that touch, then Son would have scored it. Son was right behind him. Beautifully worked by Tottenham.
Yeah, they did really well, Tottenham, to get in the position. Kehrer, he's got to try and do something. Like you say, Son's going to tap it in behind him. It's just unfortunate, it's gone in off Kehrer, the West Ham centre half.
Antonio Conte's celebration, whirling his arms around in little circles like a sort of flyweight boxer in training there, and screaming rabidly as well. Tottenham have a very serious, very passionate manager who is used to winning. Let's not forget, he's used to winning top flight titles wherever he's managed. Done it with Juventus, done it with Chelsea, of course, in England, and done it with Inter Milan. And Tottenham are going to be hoping he can do it for them as well. That may be a long way off, but they do lead at West Ham here, officially confirmed as a Thilo Kehrer own goal. But James, as the defender, he's got to try and block that. There's nothing he can do there.
Yeah, like you say, there's nothing he can do. Son's going to tap it in behind him. David Moyes will be more disappointed with the way Tottenham have got in so easily. Like I said, Declan Rice has pushed forward, trying to make things happen for West Ham. You've got to give him credit. They were going at the end trying to make a chance on Tottenham's goal, and unfortunately, one good pass is left in 3-on-3 at the back.
Chance for West Ham to respond. Good ball from Declan Rice out to the left-hand side. A little bit of skill from Benrahma. Right footed shot, deflected. Easy save for Hugo Lloris. Bristol City 1, Huddersfield 0. Nahki Wells with the goal at Ashton Gate. So half-time in the Premier League. Arsenal lead Villa by 1-0. Manchester City comfortably 3-0 ahead against Nottingham Forest. Erling Haaland with the hat-trick. And Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Liverpool, Newcastle. Commentary on that over on BBC Radio 5 live with Vicky Sparks and Dion Dublin at the moment. They'll be on air all the way through until 10:30. We'll be joining them at half-time in this game as well, so you hear a little bit of that game. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0, with just over 20 minutes played in the game. Tomorrow night on 5 Live, full commentary on Leicester City against Manchester United. Jonathan Pearce and Leon Osman, your commentary team for that one. So Tottenham leading by the goal to 0. Thought they had a penalty earlier in the first half. Peter Banks gave the decision on the field for a handball against Aaron Cresswell, but was then sent to the monitor and reversed the decision. Michail Antonio with a fierce shot that clipped the outside of the post, and Tottenham, as they so often do, scoring the first goal of the game on the counter-attack. Fornals forward. Dyer intercepts with his head. Antonio is strong to beat Højbjerg to the ball. Short pass to his left to Ben Rama. Keeps it alive for West Ham. Back to Fornals. What have you spotted there,
You can tell by David Moyes' body language. He's absolutely furious with the way West Ham have conceded that goal. Like I said, they've plugged the gaps. They defended really well. You know, like I said, gone and trying to take the game to Tottenham, but left themselves exposed at the back and find themselves 1-0 down after probably being the better team for the last 20 minutes.
Cresswell gets his head down, makes some good yardage down the left for West Ham. Finds Fornals. Fornals with a cut back. West Ham appeal for handball. Davinson Sanchez blocks it. Again, it looked like arms by his side to me. Peter Banks agrees. Gives the corner to West Ham, which Fornals gets ready to take. Ball comes up off his leg, hits him on the shoulder. No danger of a penalty being given there. Corner taken, curling cross into the box. Emerson Royale wins 2 headers for Tottenham. Fornals is there wide on the left for West Ham. Flicks it over his own head. That could have been a high boot on Fornals. Advantage play. Declan Rice crosses in. That's too deep. Bounces behind for a Tottenham goal kick, and they lead West Ham by a goal to 0.
I think West Ham have had 3 corners now, and all 3 of them have come to nothing. You know, like I said, last season, the season before, set plays was a huge part of West Ham's game, why they were winning so many games and dominating games. And you've got to say tonight, the quality of the cross and certainly the runs in the box, it hasn't been there. And they're trying to play short corners, which isn't what's brought them success.
Things guaranteed to make David Moyes' blood boil will be disappointing set pieces and sloppy goals. So you feel that the West Ham players could be in for a rocket at half-time unless they can get themselves back level before then. About 7-8 minutes to the break. Both managers pacing the touchline, watching the action. Tottenham building play inside their own half. Højbjerg playing to Ben Davies. Let's not forget that Basuma's on that yellow card in the Tottenham midfield. Jarrod Bowen comes back, slides in, takes the ball away from Ben Davies. Throw in Tottenham. Midway inside the West Ham half on the left-hand side. Thrown back. Højbjerg and Dyer exchange a little 1-2. Here's Basuma round the corner to Kulusevski. Couldn't quite bring it under control in time, which enabled West Ham to get back at him. Tackled by Souček. Rice comes away with the ball. Here's Fornals just inside his own half. Goes for the lofted pass to the right. Jarrod Bowen goes down. Sofal continue to run beyond him, so West Ham have it. Sofal's lost it to Perisic. Bowen is still down. I think he's claiming a similar thing happened there, that he accidentally got trodden on. Perisic in the left back position for Tottenham. Clears it up to the halfway line. Fabulous from Kane. Swivels. Hits the first time pass with his left foot. Son heads that forward. Heads it too far. And Fabianski is there for West Ham and bowls it out underarm. But again, the vision and the skill from Kane.
I think the first goal from Perisic into Kane's probably just as good. Obviously what Harry Kane's done to knock it in behind first time, the Son's brilliant. But they're so good at that ball. You think they're in trouble, Tottenham, and they find the ball into Harry Kane's feet and they're out.
Bowen on the right for West Ham. The game has quickly moved back into the Tottenham half. Here's Rice. Rice wide to Fornals. Cresswell makes the dummy run on the outside. Fornals plays it infield to Ben Rama. It goes back out wide to Cresswell now. Cresswell onto his right foot. Low pass back to Ben Rama. 25 yards from goal. Across to the German. Thilo Kehrer. Wide to Sofal. He's going to get that cross in early. Looking for Antonio. Header over the bar from Souček, who likes to make those runs into the penalty area. Just above him, so he couldn't keep the header down. Goal kick for Tottenham.
We haven't seen that so much from Souček early on in the season, Ali. He did it a lot last year. The late runs into the box. He's excellent in the air and scored a few goals, but he seems to be sitting back a little bit more this season, and it's good to see. If he can get that more in his game, getting into the box on the edge of crosses, it'll help West Ham all over.
10 goals in his first season for the club, which was absolutely exceptional. All of those in the Premier League. 6 goals last season as well, decent. 5 of those in the Premier League. Kane and Zuma Jump for a header on the halfway line, won by Zuma. Fornals towards Ben Rama. Ben Rama flicks it up off the laces of his right boot, chased by Emerson Royale, dives in, wins the tackle, hooks it down the line, then gives the ball away actually with the clearance to Rice. Rice gets the shout from Fornals. Fornals gives it straight back to him. Run being made by Sofal down the right. Just keeps that in. Volleyed cross. Easy for Lloris. Leaps high and catches the ball with both hands above his head. And then sees a brilliant run from Perisic and bowls it into his path. Perisic quickly onto Kane. Kane leaps to control it. Perisic continues to run down the inside left channel. Kane will use him. Those two play a little 1-2. Højbjerg's got Kulusevski in space wide on the right if he wants him. Goes instead to Emerson Royale. James is going to have to give the replay monitor a little tap with the hand again because the pictures are on the blink. Ball comes back to Dyer on the halfway line, and Tottenham in control of the game and in control of the ball at the moment. Declan Rice leading the press. Into the Tottenham half he goes. Tottenham come back to Lloris, and Lloris with his left foot floats the ball out towards Perisic, who tries to flick it on to Son. Can't keep the ball in play, and that's out for a throw into West Ham. David Moyes applauding, I think, the defensive effort from West Ham there.
Yeah, I think it's Declan Rice again. You know, he's taking it all on his shoulders to try and squeeze this West Ham team up the pitch. They seem happy at the minute just to sit back and let Tottenham have the ball, but obviously now being 1-0 down, they need to go and take the game to Tottenham, and Declan Rice is certainly, you know, the man who's trying to press and get the team up the pitch.
Antonio, little burst of speed, one-on-one with Dyer wide on the left. Dyer just watched the ball carefully, stuck a right foot on it, and Tottenham trying to work it out from the back. Dyer, chip pass, nicely measured to Kulusevski. Kulusevski steps away from Fornals. 2.5 minutes plus added time remaining at the end of the first half. Højbjerg hits his pass into the heels of Ben Davies. Perisic steps in to sort it out. Low ball up the middle of the pitch. Kane with a touch and a turn, and then a low pass to his left finds Son. Son just slows it down for Tottenham. Back into their own half they come. Walking pace at the moment. Davies to Højbjerg. Højbjerg gets it back from Dyer. Son and Højbjerg exchange another little 1-2, and Højbjerg then chips the ball to his right and finds Sanchez infield to Bissouma. Back to Sanchez again. Lots of passes being knocked together by Tottenham here. No threat at the moment, but they got the lead in the game. Davis back to Højbjerg. Bissouma comes towards him. Again, all of this action taking place just inside the Tottenham half, either side actually of the halfway line. Dyer in the centre circle. Antonio comes jogging towards him. Now Højbjerg just gives it a little more pace, a little more intent. Rolls it to Bissouma. To Davis, to Bissouma. And Tottenham knocking it around for fun at the moment.
It's because West Ham are sitting deep and keeping a low block. You know, Tottenham are happy to try and keep the ball to drag one of the West Ham defenders out and exploit the space behind.
Lloris this time goes long, headed into the path of Ben Davies. Davies runs into Sofal. He wasn't going to be able to keep that ball in play. Out for a throw in to West Ham. Antonio Conte gives Sofal a little pat on the back before he takes the throw. Half time in the Championship. Coventry 0, Preston 0. Goals in the Championship so far this evening. Bristol City leading Huddersfield by 1-0. Blackburn are 1 up at Blackpool, and Swansea with their early lead away at Stoke. Stoke 0, Swansea 1. If you haven't heard half-time scores in the Premier League, Arsenal leading Villa by 1-0. Bournemouth and Wolves goalless, and Haaland's hat-trick as Manchester City 3-0 up on Nottingham Forest. Liverpool Newcastle over on 5 Live. Full commentary on that one. Kicked off at 8, and it's still 0-0. Fornals to Rice, left hand side corner of the Tottenham box. Fornals curling cross. Lloris comes, stretches over Bowen, gets 2 fists on the ball, punches it away. It's back out to Fornals wide on the left. He sort of stumbles over the ball there, and he got a little caught up between his feet, and it's gone out for a throw in to Tottenham in their right back position. Decent cross that though initially.
Yeah, it was, and you've got to say Lloris did well again, and you've got to say Tottenham are defending their box. You know, obviously they know West Ham are going to try and get crosses into the box, and they defended it well.
4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. The reason for that is it took about 4 minutes to decide whether Tottenham should have had a penalty or not.
Probably should be more, to be honest.
Yeah. West Ham feel they should have had a free kick inside the Tottenham half, not given, and Tottenham bring the ball away. Is that Bowen down again? I think it might be. Perisic looking to find Son, making a run in behind the West Ham defence. Kehrer with a clever clearance there off the boot of Son, and out for a throw-in to West Ham. So we're going to get a stoppage in stoppage time at the end of this first half, because Jarrod Bowen has taken a whack. Dead leg?
Dead leg, yeah. Ben Davies has tried to come around the side and nick the ball in front, but Jarrod Bowen stood across him and he's took a knee straight in the quad. They can be sore.
Leicester, Manchester United, your commentary on 5 Live tomorrow. Friday night, your usual Premier League preview with Darren Fletcher and the team on the Friday Football Social. And then commentary's coming your way on 5 Live over the weekend. Get a load of this. 12:30, Old Firm derby in full on 5 Live, Celtic against Rangers. We'll have another commentary on West Ham. They're away at Chelsea. Ian Dennis with your usual 3 o'clock service with that one. Manchester City away at Aston Villa in the 5:30 slot, which is a 5 Live commentary game every Saturday this season. Sunday, 2 more for you. Brighton Leicester at 2. Brighton obviously going into that one off the back of the defeat against Fulham last night. And then Manchester United Arsenal at 4:30, all coming your way in full on 5 Live over the weekend. Heading towards half-time here at the London Stadium. The ball's gone out for a throw into Tottenham. They're quite happy to take the sting and the steam out of the game late in the first half. I think Antonio Conte will be absolutely delighted with the goal they scored and with the way they're controlling the game at the moment. Conceded against Southampton on the opening day. Excellent fighting spirit they showed in the 2-2 at Stamford Bridge, and then clean sheets against Wolves and Nottingham Forest. He's making them a tougher nut to crack. Throw in down the line. Kane flicks it on, looks for Son. Zuma clears for West Ham. Up in the air it goes. Assistant referee says offside. Antonio coming back from the offside position, so that will be a free kick to Tottenham. And it suits Tottenham, James, but the first half's just sort of petering out a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like you say, Tottenham are more than happy just to knock the ball around and a bit of time wasted and get in. Like, I go back to it again, you can see in David Moyes' face on our monitor here, he'd be, because West Ham have been in it, they've had chances and they've looked threatening at times, but just that one, blip in concentration, leaving it 3 on 3 at the back has cost them.
Ball with Tottenham again, inside their own half. Dyer to Bissouma, back to Dyer. Now Dyer's going to go long. Perisic had made the run. Dyer doesn't quite get the pass right, and Perisic gives up on the chase rather than waste energy late in the first half. Fabianski collects it and plays it to Kehrer, who has the game's goal to his name. Harry Kane's cross diverted into the net, trying to stop Son getting on the end of it. He would have stuck it away. Late chance for West Ham here, down the left with Ben Rama, moving at speed. Little step over, hits the shot from the edge of the box. Bissouma blocks it. West Ham appealing for handball again for the 3rd time in this half. Rice has lost it. Oh, here they go again. Tottenham, lovely first time ball from Harry Kane. Real danger for West Ham again. Højbjerg on the right hand side. He's caught. Play continues. Kulusevski on it, hits the left foot shot. Cresswell gets his body in the way. Dive header away from Thomas Souček. Højbjerg is still down. Tottenham are still playing. They lead West Ham by a goal to 0, and Ben Davies has decided to knock the ball out of play. They are lethal on the counter-attack, Tottenham.
They are, and it's again West Ham, their own doing. They've gone forward and left. Haven't looked over their shoulder and see what they're leaving behind, because if there's a sloppy pass and they give the ball away, you've got to give credit to West Ham, though, the way they got back, the way Declan Rice got back and challenged Højbjerg to get back and show the desire, and then Cresswell's come in and made a great block off Harry Kane. So West Ham got to be careful they don't leave the back door open when they are going to go forward.
Did the referee, James, so at the moment Højbjerg is still down. He was challenged by Declan Rice, who made a great effort to get back there. I'm not sure how much of the ball he got. Did he play advantage there, or did he actually think that Rice
I'm not
got
sure
the ball?
He didn't show signs that he was playing advantage. It looked like from here and the replay, Declan Rice may have got a little bit, but he certainly has gone over on Højbjerg's ankle. Yeah,
Højbjerg looks in a little bit of pain, because as soon as he went down, he was waving his arm furiously. You can see Davinson Sanchez in conversation with Declan Rice. Rice was definitely going for the ball, and funnily enough, I think he was stretching, and his foot almost sort of got caught in the turf, which stopped him making a clean contact on the ball. But he's gone in to check how Højbjerg is. So again, further delays in play at the end of the first half. It's a never-ending first half at the London Stadium. Manchester City 4. Nottingham Forest.
Man?
It's not our man. No, it's João Cancelo who's on the score sheet for Manchester City. You always felt that was. I mean, it's a tough assignment for anyone, that, James. Nottingham Forest have made, I think, something like 20 signings. They're still trying to get settled. it can be horrible nights like that, can't it?
It can, and like so early on in the season, you know, it's a tough one. Like you say, you can go there with all your preparation as a team. You know, a lot of teams have gone to Man City and found themselves 4 or 5-0 down after 50 minutes. So you know, it's a learning curve for Forest. You know, it's their first couple of games back in the Premier League, so they'll try and take the positives out of it. Hopefully it doesn't get up to the Liverpool-Bournemouth sort of score, and they can take what they can from it.
Well, here's a story for you from Anfield. 38th minute of the first half, kicked off at 8 o'clock, commentary over on 5 Live. New signing Alexander Isak has scored for Newcastle. Liverpool 0, Newcastle 1 at Anfield. Half-time whistle blows, so Højbjerg back on his feet right at the end of the first half, and I think quite sensibly Peter Banks has decided we've had enough football in the first half. Petered out a little towards the end. Couple of key moments, James, in the first half. Penalty decision initially given to Tottenham for a handball by Aaron Cresswell, then reversed after the video assistant referee Stuart Atwell sent Peter Banks to the screen. Funnily enough, after that decision came, it sort of switched the momentum of the game. West Ham had good periods of pressure. Antonio hit the outside of the post, but all about the Tottenham counter-attack for the goal.
Yeah, it was, like you say, I said it in commentary, you know, Tottenham started off well. You could see the pattern of the way the game was going to go. They were going to have possession of the ball, and then, like you say, the game turned on the penalty decision. West Ham got more into the game, tried to push forward. But Tottenham defended well, and like you say, when West Ham started coming forward, there was gaps in West Ham's defence that had been solid till then, and like you say, they were deadly on the counter-attack and got the goal.
So that's former West Ham defender James Collins. He'll be with us for the second half commentary here at the London Stadium on Radio 5 Sports Extra, also available live via the BBC Sounds app. Tottenham at the moment heading for 4 wins out of 5 at the start of this Premier League season, and West Ham could lose their first 3 home fixtures of a league campaign for the first time in the club's history if they can't do something about this scoreline in the second half at the London Stadium. So Tottenham leading West Ham by a 0-0. We'll be back in about 15 minutes or so here on Sports Extra. Welcome back to the London Stadium on Radio 5 Sports Extra. West Ham 0, Tottenham 1, scoreline at half-time. Bubbles are blowing again. Both teams are back out on the field, and it doesn't look to me like either manager has made any changes in personnel just yet. Of course, this season you can make 5 substitutions during the game. As you probably just heard there, Manchester City have a 5th goal now against Nottingham Forest at the Etihad, leading by 5 goals to 0. Arsenal still leading Aston Villa by a 0-0 in the Premier League, and Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. It remains. James Collins, former Wales international, West Ham defender, Aston Villa defender, sitting alongside me. What do West Ham got to do, James, do you feel, to try and make an impression on the... Tottenham have impressed you, haven't they?
They have. I think they have all season, to be honest. It's tough for me to say that as an ex-West Ham player, but they have. Again, tonight they look solid defensively, and certainly the pace they've been showing on the counter-attack and how dominant they've been in possession, they do look very good. West Ham, they need to come out. They obviously need to score a goal. They've scored 1 goal all season, deflected, so they need to come out and show a bit of oomph to go and get a goal.
Fornals was the man who scored that goal on Sunday at Villa. A little cross from him into the penalty area, cleared by Tottenham. They're in the white shirts, dark blue shorts and white socks. They're defending the goal away to our left-hand side in front of the Bobby Moore stand in this giant modern stadium. West Ham in the claret and blue, playing from right to left. Sofal's cross in from the right, so early pressure from the home team. Dyer stoops to head the ball away, then it runs to Ben Davis. Davis plays it to Perisic, curls a pass down the line for Son to collect. Declan Rice goes across to cover for West Ham. They double up on Son Heung-min, and Tottenham in the end win the throw. So West Ham, Fabianski in goal, Sofal, Thilo Kehrer, Zuma and Cresswell the back 4, Rice and Souček in front of them, Bowen, Fornals and Ben Rama in support of Michail Antonio, who clipped the outside of the post with a fierce right-footed drive in the first half before Tottenham took the lead in the game. Tottenham, there's 2 yellow cards out there for them. Davinson Sanchez and Yves Bissouma both on the yellow cards. Lloris in goal. Back 3, Sanchez, Dyer, Ben Davis. Emerson Royal and Ivan Perisic, the wing-backs. Bissouma alongside Højbjerg in central midfield. Kulusevski, Son and Kane all involved in the Quicksilver counter-attack that led to the game's only goal so far. Højbjerg took a knock late in the first half. Oh,
he's done.
He's done.
Højbjerg's done, I think, by the look of it.
Yeah, he's just taken another little knock on the ankle, so Declan Rice caught him right at the end of the first half, and he just got caught again there, and you spotted it, James. He just sort of whirled his arm in the air, didn't he, to Conte to say no.
Yeah, it does. To be honest, looking back, Declan Rice has done well. The initial injury to get back and make the tackle, but he did catch him. There's no doubt. Højbjerg, rolled his ankle. He's obviously tried it at half time. Said, fair play to the lad. He said he'd come out and have a go, but clearly within minutes of the second half started, he's not right, and he doesn't look happy at all either.
Right, so that's a blow for Tottenham. Rodrigo Bentancur was dropped to the bench for this game, and Bissouma's come in to start alongside Højbjerg, but he's absolutely vital in that Tottenham engine room. Declan Rice is trying to get Højbjerg off the field as quickly as he can because he doesn't want West Ham to lose momentum at the start of the second half, and you can see him sort of driving that message home to his team. So that's something for Antonio Conte to think about. West Ham 0, Tottenham 1. Tottenham at home to Fulham on Saturday, at home to Marseille in the Champions League next Wednesday, and then away at Manchester City, which will be a 5 live commentary on Saturday the 10th of September. That is a 5:30 kickoff on that Saturday. So Højbjerg is actually going to go back out and give it a little bit more of a go early in this second half. 3 minutes gone. Tottenham leading 1-0. Bissouma on the ball for them inside his own half.
That can only be because the substitute's not ready. Surely he does it well. I'm presuming he doesn't look at all right. He's hobbling around the pitch. He's not up with play.
And why take the risk as well?
Yeah, exactly. They must have had a chat at half time, and he said he'd give it a go, and clearly it's not. So I can only presume the substitute's not ready, because to me he looks certain he's going to come off at some point.
Thomas Souček, I think, caught by Bissouma there. Bissouma on the yellow card, as I mentioned, so he's got to be a little bit careful. Souček chested the ball down in midfield. Bissouma's foot was a little high, caught him on the top of Souček's foot. Kulusevski with a bit of pace easily gets away from Cresswell down the right hand side. Harry Kane making ground in the middle. Kulusevski low cross. Son tries to hit it first time. I think that was blocked at the near post. Yes, West Ham defender got there, and it's gone behind for a corner. Maybe Souček.
I think Souček's got back and done really well to knock it out for a corner, because it looks a certain, not a certain goal, but certainly a shot on goal from the penalty spot area.
Ross Stewart has scored for Sunderland in the early stages of the second half at the Stadium of Light, so they lead Rotherham by 1-0. Half-time at Anfield, Newcastle 1 up at Liverpool. Julian Alvarez with his first goal for Manchester City. They lead Nottingham Forest by 5-0. Commentary of that one continues online, as it does with Arsenal, Villa and Bournemouth Wolves this evening on the BBC networks. Here's Son with the corner, away swinger with the right foot, doesn't beat Cresswell, headed straight back to Son. Son dummies a right-footed cross, pokes the little pass to Kulusevski, bit of skill from him, just outside the penalty area, down by the byline on the right, twisting and turning, tries the lay back to the edge of the box where Bissouma was waiting. Pass is intercepted. Son collects it for Tottenham, comes back into his own half, and Emerson Royal goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris to Royal, into the feet of Davinson Sanchez, making a third consecutive start for Tottenham, with Christian Romero still out injured.
Just watching Højbjerg, he's made an incredible recovery. He's moving around and doesn't look like there's anything wrong with him now.
So subs as you were for Tottenham. Sanchez to Bissouma, back to Sanchez inside the Tottenham half. Clips the ball forward, Sanchez with his right foot. Kane tries to turn away from Zuma, holds Zuma off. Got to be careful now inside the West Ham penalty area. There's the cut back, looks for Kulusevski. Cresswell managed to get a little back heel flick on the ball to avert the danger for West Ham. Rice clears with his left foot. Tottenham immediately intercept. The ball is played forward to Kane, just took a little bit too long. Rice was onto him. Rice runs into trouble, and Tottenham have it back again. West Ham 0, Tottenham 1. 6 minutes gone in the second half here on Sports Extra. Emerson Royal stopped in his tracks. Good challenge by Souček. Ben Rama plays it now to Souček. Those long legs eating up the ground as he strides towards the halfway line. Fornals thought about the quick switch crossfield, decided against it. Low pass to Declan Rice, who's rumbling forward from his central midfield position. He plays to his right to Kehrer. West Ham just advance into Tottenham territory here, and back they come across to Kurt Zuma. And now Cresswell wide to Fornals. Fornals infield to Souček across to Rice inside the centre circle. Rice with a low pacey pass out wide to Sofal. Bowen moves into a pocket of space, but Sofal decides he can't find him in there, so comes back to Rice. Tottenham have every outfield player behind the ball at the moment, defending this 1-0 lead. Here's Fornals, comes in off the left-hand touchline. Ben Rama with his back to goal, lays it back to Souček. Souček works it again to the right-hand side. Good first touch from Sofal, tries to whip the cross in. Perisic blocks, Bowen jumps. Højbjerg then to win the header off the bouncing ball. Powerful header away. West Ham back inside their own half. Zuma under pressure from Kane and scoops it back to his goalkeeper Fabianski.
I've just spent 2 or 3 minutes just watching Mikel Antonio. He's making so many runs, like 3-4 runs, and it's okay, West Ham are keeping the ball, but they're going to have to take a risk and start playing. Obviously he's full of pace, Mikel Antonio, and he's making so many good runs in behind and showing feet, and they're not getting the ball to him. Obviously they can't go and score a goal. Like I said, 1 deflected goal all season for West Ham, and they need to be showing more going forward, more quality, and playing the ball into Mikel Antonio.
James Collins, former Villa man. Good news for Steven Gerrard. James, Douglas Luiz has scored. 16 minutes to play at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Villa 1. Steven Gerrard just under a little bit of pressure early on at the start of this season. Højbjerg sat down just after West Ham had taken a throw.
He's got to come off. Got to. I think he's actually changing boots. Right. He's not even coming off. He's changing boots.
He's got to get off the field. He's trying to do it on the field. Peter Banks quite rightly having none of it. That's just gamesmanship and time wasting. And Højbjerg, come on. And he's been told by enough people now. He's trying to do it as quickly as he can. He's going to go for another white pair. He had the choice of orange or white there and has decided to stick with the white.
I think it's the correct decision.
Slips them on very quickly. David Moyes is blowing his top here on the sideline. I can understand why as well, because we're waiting for Højbjerg to do his boots up. It's like watching my lad playing for the under-11s at the moment. Now the lace is being tied tight. Arsenal 1, Villa 1. Commentary continues online, available via the BBC Sport website and app. As it does for Bournemouth and Wolves, remains goalless. Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 5-0. Here's Bissouma. Tottenham 1 up here at West Ham. 9 minutes gone in the second half. And Højbjerg, having had the injury problems with the ankle, boot problems as well, back out in central midfield. Hugo Lloris floats a pass out with his left foot, but slightly miscues it. Couldn't find Perisic. Goes straight out for a West Ham throw. Taken quickly into Antonio. Flicks it round the corner. Souček. Oh, fabulous goal! West Ham from the throw-in into Antonio, held it up beautifully, flicked it round the corner, and Thomas Souček with a thumping finish makes it West Ham 1, Tottenham 1.
And yeah, it's a great goal. Tommy, I was talking about him not getting in the box so much this season, and he's just proved me wrong. He stormed into the box. Nice play, throw in from West Ham into Mikel Antonio's feet, and it's dropped to Souček. And you've got to say, when he gets in those positions, he finishes it 9 times out of 10, and he's done it wonderfully well.
The goal came, James, from Hugo Lloris's mistake. Poor pass out from the back, and Tottenham switched off from the throw-in. Perisic turns his back. Antonio gets into position. Souček does so well.
It's a great flick from Mikel Antonio. You're right, Ali. They've switched off from the throw-in. I think Højbjerg's out still having a chat with the referee, and the West Ham pounced on it. And you've got to say he's done so well getting in that position, and to finish areas is brilliant. Mikel Antonio's done fabulously well.
Oh, it's so clever from Antonio. Gets his body in the way to hold the ball up outside of his right boot on the turn to flick it round the corner, and Souček is on the move. He's got the run on the Tottenham defenders, brings it down on his left thigh and rifles it home with his right foot. That is an excellent equaliser for West Ham. You can hear what it means.
This stadium is going to be bouncing now.
West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Gabriel Martinelli, I spoke too soon. Sorry, Aston Villa fans. Arsenal now lead Aston Villa by 2-1. Martinelli having a very good start to the season. All the details, all the debate, all the reaction in the Football Daily podcast available for you later tonight, early tomorrow morning via the BBC Sounds app. Will be well worth a listen. Game on here at the London Stadium. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, and West Ham have a good record against Tottenham in this stadium in recent times. David Moyes actually against Tottenham in recent times in home league games has only lost one of the last 10. And here come West Ham again. Declan Rice, sweeping ball out to Bowen. Bowen controls it, has it on that left foot, being moved away from goal by Ben Davies. Rice, shot takes a deflection. Lloris wasn't sure for a second there, skims away and goes out for a goal kick actually. So Rice's shot must have hit one of his own teammates. You can feel the change inside the stadium.
You almost feel like West Ham have taken the edge since all the Højbjerg sort of situation with his ankle, and he's changing boots, and the Tottenham players are chatting, and West Ham taking advantage, and they certainly have had the best start to the half, and like you say, this crowd's really getting up now and supporting the West Ham team. So like you say, Ali, it really is game on.
Arsenal then heading at the moment for 5 wins out of 5 at the start of the season. Tottenham pegged back here against West Ham, but still plenty of time to play in the second half. Leicester, Manchester United, your commentary on 5 Live tomorrow night. Tonight, second half of Liverpool Newcastle will be underway over on 5 Live. 5 Live Sport on air through until 10:30 this evening from 10 o'clock on Sports Extra here. Day 3 of the coverage from the US Open tennis. Andy Murray through to the third round. Serena Williams in action. It's the farewell tour, isn't it? And she's against Annette Kontaveit in round 2. So coverage will include Serena Williams' next match, and who knows, possibly last match in professional tennis. Højbjerg in those replacement white boots. Across to Sanchez, wide to Kulusevski. Kulusevski plays it in field with his left foot. Ball's chipped into the penalty area, looking for Harry Kane. Headed away, Benrahma chases the clearance. Hoists it forward with his left foot. Did he keep it in play? No. Throwing for Tottenham on the right. I got stuck between hoists and hoofs there. It was both, really.
I think when you were commentating on me, it would have been hoof quite a lot of time.
It's James Collins with us on Sports Extra. Good second half developing. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Don't forget a certain fella called Richarlison sitting on the Tottenham bench. Some wonder whether he might start this evening. Certain fella called Lucas Paqueta sitting on the West Ham bench, having been signed, we think, for over £50 million from Lyon. West Ham fans on their feet. West Ham players backtracking a little. Tottenham bring it forward. Ben Davies on the left. Dummies the cross. Rolls it back to Bissouma. Back again to Davis, wide on the left. This time the cross comes in. Kane with the header, takes a deflection. Souček, West Ham's goal scorer, is there to volley it away with his right foot. Dyer and Antonio having a proper full-on wrestle there on the halfway line. Dyer wins the battle. Here's Bissouma. Bissouma whipped ball forward to Kulusevski. Unceremoniously dumped to the floor by Pablo Fornals, and Tottenham get the free kick. Game very much in the balance. Atmosphere's bubbling, and we've got half an hour or so to play here on Radio 5 Sports Extra in the company of James Collins. Perisic, little trick onto his right foot, curling cross into the box towards the far post. Cresswell heads it away. Benrahma with a second header towards the halfway line. Dyer nods it sideways. Tottenham have possession. Back into their own half they go. Davinson Sanchez on the ball, can't quite decide what to do with it. Runs to the right, runs to the left, plays it to Eric Dyer. Dyer stops, head up all the time here, looking right and left again. Short pass forward to Bissouma, and now on to Kulusevski, making ground down the inside right channel. Ross Stewart has a second for Sunderland tonight. Sunderland 2, Rotherham 0 in the Championship. Højbjerg into the feet of Son. Son with a little step over. Wide to the left it goes. Ben Davies cross, looking for Kane, too close to Fabianski. Confident catch from the West Ham goalkeeper, James.
They've actually done a right, Tottenham, since West Ham scored. They've come out and kept the ball. But like you say, the game really is in the balance. The West Ham fans are right behind their team, and like I say, we could be in for an exciting 30 minutes or so now.
Ball inside the West Ham half. Thilo Kehrer plays the ball back to Fabianski. Fabianski with his right foot swings it out to the left. Fornals jumps with Emerson Royale. Assistant referee decides that's a West Ham throw, so you won't find any argument from David Moyes. Moyes and Conte both giving him the stare, but David Moyes was closer to the assistant referee, so maybe he just decided to go West Ham's way. Here's Fabianski. Long, high clearance down the middle of the field. Sanchez with a good leap. Nods it away for Tottenham. Cresswell heads it forward. Emerson Royale leaps into a block there. It's all got a bit scrappy.
Exactly what I was going to say. It's gone scrappy now. It's just both teams, trying to get a foothold in the game and control it a little bit more. But certainly the last 5 minutes, it's gone very scrappy. Ball bouncing around. No one really getting any possession. So, both managers be shouting at the players to try and, take their time, get control of the game, and either of them could go on and win it.
Throw in Tottenham, 15 yards inside the West Ham half, wide on the right. Emerson Royale with the shirt untucked, skids a throw back to Dyer. Dyer is chased by Antonio. No Scamacca for David Moyes to bring off the bench. It's been that way so far this season. One of the two, Antonio Scamacca, has started. The other one comes on after about an hour or 65 minutes or so. Scamacca is absent ill this evening, but will we see Paqueta, Lanzini on that bench as well? Sanchez goes down, wins the free kick. West Ham were away down the left-hand side. They think he's making a meal of it. Referee Peter Banks steps in very quickly to take control of the situation. Maxwell Cornet, another attacking option for West Ham on the bench, signing from Burnley.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't had more of a chance, Cornet, to be honest, Ali. He's, like I say, came in and exciting player, and West Ham, like I said, didn't start the season tremendously well. I thought he might have had a chance, but like I say, he's an exciting player to bring on in situations like this where West Ham can go on and win the game. Premier League experience as well with Burnley. Here's Davis for Tottenham, looking to try and get back in front. Perisic, searching ball, finds Davis with the cutback, drives it hard. Zuma gets a foot on it, hoists it over his own bar. Went for hoist that time, that definitely wasn't a hoof, and it's gone behind for the corner to Tottenham. And as you say, James, Tottenham have responded well since conceding the equaliser. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Arsenal 2-1 up on Villa. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. And Manchester City leading Nottingham Forest by 5-0 with Liverpool 1-0 down at home to Newcastle. Commentary on all of those games available. Liverpool, Newcastle on 5 Live. The others available online at the moment. Here's the Tottenham corner. It's going to come in from their left flank. Son's right foot whips it into the near post. Antonio, good lead, powerful header, and away it goes for a Tottenham throw on the left. I mean, Richarlison, you'd imagine, will come on relatively soon, I'd have thought, James. Yeah, you looking down, they got both teams have got 3 players out warming up. It's coming to that time of the game, a tight, tense game where the managers are going to be thinking about making a substitution. I say both teams have got wealth of talent on the bench that can come on and change any game. Stage is set for a couple of Brazilians, we think, don't we? Paqueta and Richarlison. Can either of them come on and win the game? He's had the shout, the new boy. He has had the shout. The West Ham fans have spotted it. Got the big wave from David Moyes. Rips off the bib, and a huge ripple of applause, like a Mexican wave, thunders around the stadium. It's funny, I never had that reaction when I was going on. So come on, don't put yourself down. You were an answer in the half-time quiz, James. Well, it's probably one of my greatest moments of my career, that. Well, this fella Paqueta has put up some good numbers, as they say, in Liga for Lyon over the last couple of seasons. Fully fledged Brazilian international, links up well with Neymar. Jonathan Pearce was telling me at the St Mary's Stadium last night. He is a player. They've spent a lot of money on him, and he's going to get his first taste of West Ham action. 25 minutes or so of football, so let's see what he can do. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Well, you couldn't wish for a better place to come on as a West Ham player on your debut at home to Tottenham. 1-1, it's written in the stars for him to come on and get the winner. Emerson Royale, little nod down in the West Ham box. Kulusevski gets onto that ball, skips away from Fornals. Royale's cross just over the head of Son in the middle. Basuma chests the clearance down. Højbjerg side foots a pass to Davis on his left. Davis looking for Harry Kane. Kane putting pressure on Kehrer. Bumps into Kehrer, fouls Kehrer. Last touch came off Kehrer, and the ball would have gone behind for a corner. But referee Peter Banks says Kane was just a little too eager in the challenge. And Julian Alvarez, I see, has scored another goal for Manchester City in the 87th minute of that game. So it's Manchester City 6, Nottingham Forest 0. Alvarez with 2, Haaland with 3. Paqueta clearly can't understand Kevin Nolan's strong Scouse accent, so he's got Alfonso Areola just being his translator on the bench, getting his final instructions to come on and could, put himself in West Ham folklore in his first game. Fabianski takes the free kick. 25 minutes to play here on Sports Extra. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Good response from West Ham in the second half, having gone behind to the own goal in the first half. Lloris under pressure. Bowen was closing him down. Half blocks the clearance. Perisic plays his team into trouble. Here's Souček inside the Tottenham box. Chance! Oh, right across the face of goal from Jarrod Bowen. Souček's cross sort of deflected up in the air. Bowen threw himself at the ball, could have gone anywhere, went right across the face of goal. Chance, I think seeing it first time from the eye, I think Jarrod Bowen's gone with the wrong foot. I think he's tried to go with the outside of his right foot and sort of spun off and actually stayed in play in the end. But I think if It's a challenge from Eric Dyer, so he's probably done the best he can, but it's a chance for West Ham.
Ben Rama coming off, Paqueta coming on. Wearing number 11 for West Ham, holds both hands up in the air, looks up to the skies, says a little something. He's got short dark hair, dark bearded chin, and gets that sort of welcome from the home fans, blows them a little kiss, and on he comes. So let's see what this fella has got to offer in the last quarter of this game. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, Preston 1 up at Coventry in the Championship, and Sunderland cruising now at home against Rotherham. Jack Clark has them a third. Sunderland 3, Rotherham 0. Højbjerg playing the ball back to Lloris. Lloris clears with his left foot. Harry Kane lets it go underneath his right foot. Kulusevski was behind him. Declan Rice in with the tackle. Quick bit of passing from West Ham inside their own half. Antonio did so well. Got in front of Sanchez and laid it off to Paqueta. His first touch, a nice one. West Ham back, they play into their own half. Zuma cross to Kehrer. Kehrer with the diagonal. Fornals will chase. Can't quite keep it in, and the ball goes behind for a Tottenham goal kick. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. James Collins.
Yeah, just watching Paqueta there, you know, you can see clearly he's going to be the player who gets in the holes and gets the ball, and I think Kehrer probably could have played that. You know, they're going to have to get used to. That's the way he's going to want to play. Paqueta, he's going to want the ball into his feet, into the little pockets, into the holes, and he was on then, and he's only been on a minute. So, you know, the quicker West Ham can get him on the ball, you know, see if he can make something happen for West Ham.
Ball played back to Lloris, again under pressure inside his own penalty area, to Sanchez, closed down by Paqueta, closed down by Antonio. Antonio with the sliding challenge, given as a foul against the West Ham centre forward, but Tottenham playing themselves into a spot of bother, and West Ham are onto them at the moment.
Yeah, it's good for West Ham. They're setting little traps, you know. They obviously know Tottenham want to try and keep the ball and keep possession, and West Ham are sort of backing off a little bit, hoping they play the ball, and then setting a trap and going in and putting them under pressure, and they've done it 3 or 4 times in the last 10 minutes.
Tottenham taking their time over the free kick. 1-1 at the moment. West Ham have them slightly under the cosh. Lloris just replaces the ball again. Some of the full-time scores will be coming in soon. Around the grounds, up and down the country in the 7:30 kickoffs. Harry Kane goes to ground. Nothing wrong there. Declan Rice plays a pass back to Kehrer across to Sofal. Sofal down the line towards Jared Bowen. Bowen comes sprinting back into his own half with the ball at his feet and curls a pass back to Fabianski. Closed down by Kulusevski. Tottenham yet to make a change in personnel in this game. 20 minutes to play. Paqueta finds Cresswell, chested down by Fornals, tries to get it back to Cresswell, runs to Paqueta, little step over, looking for Antonio, couldn't quite find him. Emerson Royale plays it back to Lloris, and West Ham are on to Lloris now. Bowen closes him down, Lloris gets rid of it quickly. Sanchez to Emerson Royale. Royale draws Fornals in, says come and get it, and then plays the pass off to Dyer. Dyer inside his own penalty area. Now into the right back position. Sanchez up that right-hand line towards Kulusevski. Cresswell was caught by Kulusevski as he stretched for the ball. West Ham get the free kick, and Antonio Conte slaps his hands on his thighs in frustration. Full-time, Manchester City 6, Nottingham Forest 0. Haaland with 3, and if he's not scoring them, they've signed a fella called Julian Alvarez, who's got a couple himself as well.
I'm not sure if West Ham have got a problem here defensively. Angelo Bonner's ready, stripped down, ready to come on, getting his instructions, so I'm not sure if West Ham might have a problem here at the back.
Cresswell's on his feet and okay. They've taken the free kick, so let's see what that's about. Angelo Bonner, who's had his own injury problems, of course, ready to come on for West Ham in the late stages of this game. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Souček to Sofal. Back to Souček, makes that run into the right wing position. Ben Davies goes with him. Souček tries to hit the cross around him. Bowen keeps it in play, down by the byline inside the Tottenham area. Loses it, Perisic plays it to Højbjerg. Davies' clearance at Son. Son chests it down. There was a handball there before it reached Son, and so that will be a free kick to Tottenham. Angelo Ogbonna then, just looking with that knee injury. Last appearance for him for West Ham was in the 3-2 win against Liverpool. Remember that game, cracking game here back in November. Cresswell off, Ogbonna on. Roberto Firmino, by the way, has equalised for Liverpool against Newcastle. Half an hour to play in that game. Full commentary over on BBC Radio 5 Live. Angelo Ogbonna gets a very warm welcome on his return to first team action for West Ham. Craig Dawson's still out, injured at the moment as well for West Ham in terms of...
Well, if you read it as well, potentially, might be moving on from the club, and I've got to say Craig Dawson's been phenomenal for West Ham since he came. But it looks like West Ham will probably go three at the back. Now they're saying Kera's going to move over to right back and Fornell slip in, but I think they'll probably go three at the back.
Yeah. Kera volleys a clearance forward.
Fornell's is going to have to do the job, left wing back.
Son looked like he might have been in an offside position. We'll wait and see if this develops into something. Son into the West Ham penalty area, right-footed curlers wide, and behind it goes, but the flag still stays down. The shot took a deflection, so that will be a corner, and obviously because it didn't lead to a goal or a penalty or a major event in the game,
I think he was onside anyway. Yeah, to be honest.
I think it's the West Ham fans here on the left, isn't it, calling the offside? But Tottenham do get the corner. Seen Son in those positions before, just whip that shot into the top corner. Not quite happening for him so far this season. Thought he was going to get on the score sheet actually this evening because the cross from Kane was coming towards him. Kera put a foot on it and it turned into an own goal. 18 minutes to play plus added time. Corner for Tottenham, taken by Perisic into the near post. Davis goes for the flick on. Paqueta with the header, overhead kick attempt there from Davinson Sanchez. Good contact on the ball, goes behind for a goal kick, and I think a West Ham player might have been hoofed by Sanchez in the process. Someone down on the floor.
Is Souček,
is it? Yeah.
I think he's took a boot to the face for his trouble. Brave from him though, must say. He's put his head in where it hurts and got a knock, and that's what you got to do, in those positions as a defender or as a defending set plays. You've got to take the knock sometimes, and he did really well there.
So Man City 6, Nottingham Forest 0 full time. Liverpool 1, Newcastle 1 latest. Still waiting for the full time score lines from the Emirates and from the Vitality Stadium. Latest we've heard, Arsenal 2, Villa 1 and Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Richarlison getting ready to come on, so he's got just over 15 minutes to try and make an impression on the game. You do wonder actually, James, with the fit and the slightly later Tottenham substitutions, fixtures coming thick and fast. They got Champions League next week, so whether Richarlison maybe starts Fulham on Saturday, and whether Antonio Conte's thinking along those lines. Champions League next week, Radio 5 Live covering it all the way as usual. So Tottenham will play on the Wednesday against Marseille. Ajax Rangers on Marseille. Napoli Liverpool's an 8 o'clock kickoff on the Wednesday. Real Madrid European champions go to Celtic on the Tuesday night. Manchester City away to Sevilla, and Chelsea in an early kickoff on the Tuesday away to Dinamo Zagreb. Free kick Tottenham taken quickly by Kane. Diagonal ball floated out to Kulusevski. Tries to beat Fornals, can't do that. Fornals gets away from him. Declan Rice in support. Fornals wide on the left hand side. Rice still running down the left hand side. Rice steps infield, darts into a little gap. Fornals is there to help him out. Curling pass wide to the right, finds Sofal. Bowen and Antonio waiting for the delivery if it comes from Sofal. Takes on Perisic. Bowen with the flick. Oh, hit over the bar by Fornals. Took a swing, met it cleanly first time, couldn't keep it down. Goal kick for Tottenham.
I thought the chance had gone. The ball's got out to Sofal and he's got a lot of time and he sort of ran it. I thought he was going to cross it. Then he's actually done really well. Got it to the byline. Crossed it back. It's come quick at Fornals. It's come really quick, and it's hard to get your foot over. But it's another chance for West Ham.
Goal kick Tottenham. Richarlison on. Kulusevski, for once this season, comes off before Son. So Richarlison, Son and Kane, the front three, full time at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Villa 1. Reaction through until 10:30 over on 5 Live. So once the commentary finishes here, tennis from the US Open starts at 10 o'clock. Football coverage continues until 10:30 on 5 Live. Richarlison finds Kane, angles tight, hits the shot, just delayed slightly, blocked by Kera, and behind for a corner to Tottenham.
Richarlison's done really well. Ball's played up to him on the halfway line. He's just let it run through his legs, caught Angelo Ogbonna maybe a little bit cold and got the other side and ran it in. Played a nice ball into Kane onside, but Kera, to be fair to him, the West Ham centre-half's come over and blocked Harry Kane's shot and did really well.
Football reaction, as I say, through until 10:30 on 5 Live. Also in the Football Daily podcast, available for you always on the BBC Sounds app. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, full-time scoreline. So Bournemouth, good response after the 9-0 hammering. Son scuffed it completely with the corner. Thought he was going to get a second attempt. So unlike Son that. And Fornals knocks it out for a throw-in to Tottenham. Son takes the throw-in down to Richarlison. Richarlison with the peroxide hair, flicks it back to Son. Better cross in this time, headed away by Zuma. Son heads it in field to Perisic. Last 15 minutes of the game. Tottenham 1, West Ham 1, and there'll be half an hour or so left at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Newcastle 1. Here's Højbjerg through the channels to Emerson Royale, wide to Richarlison. Tottenham looking for him a few times since he's come on. He's picked up some good positions, plays it back to Bissouma across to Højbjerg, 30 yards out. High floated ball beyond Kane. Sofal's got it covered and behind it goes for the goal kick to West Ham, 1-1.
Yeah, Richarlison's been lively. Like you say, if he's coming on, you can clearly see the Tottenham players looking to give him the ball, and he's linked up nicely with Son a few times. So like you say, 13-14 minutes to go with both Brazilians on the pitch. We could be in for exactly 15 minutes.
Yes, the narrative is potentially set there. Bristol City 2, Huddersfield 0. Antoine Semenyo with the second goal for the home team at Ashton Gate. My stopwatch tells me 12 minutes plus added time remaining in this London derby. Leicester Manchester United in full tomorrow night on 5 Live with Jonathan Pearce and Leon Osman as Son flicks the little back header into the West Ham half. Perisic stretches to clear. The ball is chested down by Højbjerg, played forward by Ben Davis, cut out by Souček. Out for the throw into Tottenham on the left. It's turned into a little bit of a sort of arm wrestle last 10 minutes or so. West Ham got their equaliser, had their spell, had Tottenham under pressure. And now we've got to see whether either team has got it in them to snatch a winner. Would be a massive one for West Ham, obviously, because back-to-back wins, having lost the first 3 games of the season, will do them the world of good. Huge win for Tottenham if they could make it 4 wins out of 5. Arsenal, of course, started the season with 5 wins out of 5 this season. Here's Lloris. It was his clearance that went straight out of play. It cost Tottenham their equaliser. West Ham scoring from the quick throw. Royale plays the ball back to Sanchez. Closed down by Paqueta. Lloris again, not the best pass, and Dyer has to go stretching across to reach that. Heavily tackled by Bowen. Dyer does the job for Tottenham, but he stayed down, still down on his knees inside his own half. Slowly gets to his feet. West Ham have the ball. Can they try and take advantage? But Lloris's pass there put Dyer in that little spot of bother. Ogbonna playing as a left-sided centre-back since coming on for West Ham. Zuma in the middle, Kehrer on the right. Fornals in the left wing-back role, as James was explaining, and Sofal over on the right-hand side. High long clearance, chested down by Ben Davis inside his own half. Plays across to Davinson Sanchez. Emerson Royale. Right-footed ball towards Richarlison. Wouldn't quite come down for him. Ogbonna gets a foot in to clear it. Bissouma plays it to his left-hand side. Emerson coming on for West Ham as Tottenham float across into the area just over the head of Emerson Royale. Couldn't get proper contact on the header. Højbjerg slides in to try and keep it in play. Wants a corner. Not going to go his way. Goal kick for West Ham. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Emerson, you're saying, James?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've just been told he's getting his instructions off Kevin Nolan down there. I think we'll be seeing him shortly. Just going back to Paqueta, I think he'll be obviously he's a tremendous footballer, but he's going to be a real fan favourite here. You can tell, he's sort of the player that West Ham fans like. But even a couple of times now already tonight, you can tell he works hard, gets back and helps his defenders, which he did there. Yeah, Emerson Royale on one team for Tottenham, having started the game. Emerson Palmieri about to come on for West Ham, defending to do. Here's Perisic for Tottenham on the left-hand side, heading for the byline. Good cross, right across the face of goal. No one there for Tottenham. The West Ham defenders just watched it sail by. Emerson Royale's done brilliantly on the right. Little nutmeg on Fornals. Ball in towards Richarlison. Jumps for the header. Kane with the volley. Fabianski down to his right to make the save. Kane didn't quite catch it how he wanted, but it was on target. Yeah, good cross in. I actually thought it was a foul in the box on Kurt Zuma from Richarlison. It seemed like he's gone for the clearance, Zuma, and he's been put off or jumped into the back by Richarlison, but then the ball's come out and Harry Kane sort of half scuffed a shot straight at Fabianski.
Richarlison, having gone for the header, was on the floor. Kane, as you said, scuffed the shot, and Richarlison, while he's lying there, tries to get a little flick on the ball to try and knot it in the bottom corner. So further stoppage here. We'll have another look on the replay monitor. Royale's cross comes in, Richarlison jumps into the back of Kurt Zouma and knocks him to the floor. Zouma currently recovering at the moment. Into the last 10 minutes of the second half. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, over on 5 Live. Still Liverpool 1, Newcastle 1. Where was my little Tottenham stat on London derby? So they were ahead in this game tonight, of course, in the first half. They've only won 1 of their last 13 Premier League London derbies away from home. Drawn 5, lost 7. So that could be 1 win in 14. The victory came against Fulham back in March 2021. Kind of sort of nonsense stat that us commentators love, and I'm sure footballers don't.
Fills the gap, though, Ali, doesn't it?
Exactly right. Zouma getting to his feet. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. West Ham away at Chelsea on Saturday. That's our 3 o'clock commentary on 5 Live. They've got European football next week. Europa Conference League for them, of course. Beat the Danish side Viborg 6-1 on aggregate in the playoff round in the Conference League. So Steaua Bucharest, former European Cup winners, are the visitors next Thursday. They've got the Danish teams Silkeborg and Anderlecht as well in the group stages of that competition. And then the following weekend, they're at home against Newcastle, who currently have Liverpool at 1-1. So Zuma's jogging back round towards the halfway line. Emerson still waiting to come on, so he's another one of the West Ham signings this summer, having joined from Chelsea, having had 4.5 seasons there, but on loan to Lyon last season. So he'll know Lucas Paqueta and what he can do. He's out there for West Ham as well. Are we going to find a winner in the game? Richarlison nods it down to Kane. Stretching challenge from Souček's a good one. Ogbonna clears. Basuma heads it up in the air. Kane's little flick on, this time looking for Richarlison. Drops to Sofal instead. Sofal launches it high down the right for West Ham. Ben Davies steps in. Heads it to his left. Højbjerg doesn't manage to keep it in play. Throwing for West Ham in an attacking position on the right-hand side.
Yeah, West Ham unfortunately drop it, as you do. It's natural, you know, it's a tight game, dropping a little bit deeper, and then when they do win the ball back, they're just trying to get up to Mikel Antonio a little bit too quick, and he's sort of left isolated. So you know, they're going to have to try and be a bit more patient, get the ball into Paqueta and see if he can make things happen.
Pablo Fornal sprints off for West Ham. His number's gone up, exactly the change that James was suggesting. So Emerson Palmieri, very suited to that left wing back role. Got 45 minutes against Villa on Sunday before David Moyes decided to change the shape. Late equaliser for Stoke, I see, in the Championship. Swansea led from the 6th minute in that game. Tyrese Campbell has scored in the 91st minute of the game. Stoke 1, Swansea 1, still going. Emerson's first touch, infield to Rice. Paqueta, closed down by 2 Tottenham players. Højbjerg's one of them. Wins the ball only as far as Souček. Here's Kehrer. Kehrer's crossing to the far post beyond Antonio. Emerson's behind him. Will keep it in play for West Ham. Wide on that left-hand side. Low pass back to Rice. Rice plays it across field here to Souček. Shoot, say the West Ham fans. He goes low to his right to his fellow Czech. Sofal, then the crossing from Kehrer just over the head of Antonio. 2 good crosses in from the right. And Richarlison is there to try and deal with it for Tottenham. Hits it into the legs of Ogbonna, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Tottenham. 1-1.
Yeah, better quality from West Ham. Just mention it now. Mikel Antonio was a bit isolated, but there was 2 real good balls in, both from Kehrer, I believe, the centre half, but now right side centre half, so he's pushing on a little bit. So yeah, West Ham, they're certainly still in this game and looking for the win.
James Collins with us on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Tennis on the way tonight on this station from 10 o'clock. Day 3 of the US Open. Andy Murray already through to the 3rd round. Ball cleared by Davinson Sanchez, headed forward by Kurt Zouma, dropping midway inside the Tottenham half. Paqueta holds off Bissouma. Sanchez got a foot in. West Ham have it back with Emerson. Emerson bringing it forward. Antonio wide on the left for West Ham in this attack. Plays it back to Declan Rice. Rice side foots his pass across to Kehrer. At the moment it's West Ham putting the pressure on late in the game. Sofal down the line to Bowen. Ben Davies comes through the back of Bowen, gets booked for his pains. Claims he got the ball. but came from behind, and Ben Davis goes into the referee's notebook, yellow card.
Yeah, Ben Davis having a bit of a moan up to the referee there, but he's made an attempt for the ball, but you can't come through the back of Bowen. Bowen knows what he's doing, he knows he's coming, and sort of tried to ride the tackle, but we got a little clip for his troubles.
Manchester City beating Nottingham Forest by 6-0 this evening. If you haven't heard, I know some of the Nottingham Forest fans weren't very happy with that. So Chris Sutton is doing the predictions on the BBC Sport website. He's taken that role over from Mark Lawrenson this season, and he thought Tottenham were going to beat Forest 5-0. The weekend, Forest fans weren't very happy with the prediction. He wasn't right. Obviously, they lost the game 2-0. Tonight, I think he did go for 6-0. You know what Chris is like, and he's a stick. So I think he's going to take some for that. 3 minutes to go in this game, plus added time. West Ham with a free kick. Wide on the right. West Ham fans hope and expect Peter Banks is going to delay this. Spotted something going on the edge of the penalty area. It'll either be Bowen with the left foot or Sofal with the right-footed delivery. Ogbonna is free at the moment. He's going to make a run towards the far post. Sofal will hit it with his right foot. In it comes. Antonio jumps, heads it sideways. It's not clear yet. Ball nodded down. Ben Davis gets a shout from Hugo Lloris to leave it, and Lloris grabs the ball gratefully. Walks to the edge of his penalty area. Still Liverpool-Newcastle, by the way. Kicked off at 8 o'clock. Commentary over on 5 Live. Remains 1-1. Isak getting Newcastle in front in the first half. Firmino with the equaliser on the hour mark in the second half. Good noise building in the closing stages here at the London Stadium. Tottenham playing out from the back. Højbjerg wide on the right. Short pass to Bissouma. Bissouma wide to Perisic, who's popped up on the right-hand side, chasing the ball, having lost it. Chases Ogbonna, further chases Fabianski, into the penalty area he goes. Fabianski sees him coming, launches it to the right. Sofal jumps, wins a brilliant header for West Ham. On it goes to Bowen, and suddenly Tottenham are on the back foot. Jarrod Bowen, support from Sofal on the outside. Sofal's cross. Oh, they left it for each other in the middle. Paqueta was one of those running towards the ball. Just needed someone to hit it, and the two West Ham players left it for each other to strike. Emerson was the other. One of them had to hit it.
Sofal did so well originally, won the first header, then overlapped Jarrod Bowen, got a lovely cross in, a cut back towards Paqueta and Emerson, and it's probably a penalty spot, and
I wonder if Emerson has left that because it's on his right foot rather than his left, and he thinks
just massive confusion, and the end it's just rolled through, but there was a huge chance.
I made the point as well, playing at Lyon together last season, so actually two players in the West Ham team who do know each other, and Paqueta is only just joining the club. What an opportunity late in the game. That came in the 89th minute of the game. Still West Ham 1, Tottenham 1.
They clearly didn't speak to each other.
Exactly. Sanchez lofts a ball high in the air, drops down inside the West Ham half. Poked forward by Tottenham. Zuma quickly back to his goalkeeper Fabianski. No nonsense clearance, smashes it 80-90 yards downfield from one keeper to the other. Fabianski through to Lloris, and Emerson Royal on the ball for Tottenham. Drives it forward with his right foot. Harry Kane wasn't going to win the header. Son chases the loose ball. Richarlison beaten to it by Rice. Emerson curls it down the left-hand side, headed away by Sanchez. Royal holding his lower back there, having challenged for a header. Falls to Paqueta. Royal back into the action for Tottenham. Paqueta gives him a kick. That's going to be a free goal. The referee might have been able to play an advantage there. Then Emerson shoves Richarlison, and those two go eyeball to eyeball, and it's kicking off in the closing stages at the London Stadium. And a couple of the Tottenham and West Ham teammates step in to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Paqueta on Royal initially, I think, will get a yellow card. Referee tried to play the advantage. Richarlison was then caught by Emerson. Full-time scores in the Championship. Stoke 1, Swansea 1. Late equaliser for Stoke. Coventry 0, Preston 1. Final score. Did Paqueta get booked?
Yeah, just got booked. A little bit frustrated. I think he probably should have done better with his touch, and West Ham could have lost the ball and then just kicked out.
And Emerson, I think, is getting booked for his challenge on Richarlison, even though play had effectively stopped by then. So a couple of West Ham bookings. Oh, and Richarlison got booked, so that was for the afters. Fine, got it. Okay, never far from a little bit of controversy and argy-bargy is our friend Richarlison. 4 minutes of added time. I make it we've already played one of those, although there wasn't any football in that minute because the referee was sorting it all out. Is it going to be a point apiece? It is if we have balls like that from Eric Dyer over the head of Perisic. Frustrated Tottenham players, and it goes out for a goal kick to West Ham. Bristol City have beaten Huddersfield by 2 goals to 0. Fabianski taking his time. Point apiece, James, on what we've seen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that's probably the right result. If it stays like that, you never know what can happen in London derbies or any game. But both teams have. Obviously, Tottenham have had more possession, and certainly first half looked like scoring on the break a little bit. But certainly West Ham have been in the game, and like I said, both teams probably deserve a point.
Harry Kane battling with Zuma on the halfway line. A lot of bodies there, getting scruffy. Kane chasing Antonio. Good strength from Harry Kane. Shoulder to shoulder with Antonio. Knocked him off the ball, and Tottenham have it on the left. And now he's using his pace, Kane, to try and get past Souček. He's determined to try and win this on his own for Tottenham. He's going to use Perisic. Looks for Kane again. Perisic's pass infield is blocked. Tottenham have won it back again. Free kick goes to West Ham, though. Inside their own half in the right back position. 90 seconds of the game remaining.
Mikel Antonio's put an absolute shift in tonight for West Ham. He's up on his own at long time, holding the ball up with not many West Ham players around him, and then again 90th minute, 91st minute, he's back defending for his team.
Perisic booked, I think, for his complaints there. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Fabianski marches forward to take the free kick deep from inside the West Ham half. They'll go long, get the bodies up there, see if they can get a late break in the game and try and snatch a winner. Looks like they're going to avoid losing their first 3 home fixtures of a league campaign for the first time in the club's history. Antonio's flick on, nearly runs to Bowen. Dyer's there, kicks it as far as he can into the stand, running alongside the pitch. Sunderland have beaten Rotherham 3-0. That's a full time in the Championship.
That was a hoof.
That was a hoof. That was a proper end of game. Don't want to be dealing with this nonsense. Let's get out of here and take a point. Throw in for West Ham. It'll be a long one. Coming in from the right. Tottenham still with a bit of defending to do. In it comes to the near post. Ball is loose. Falls to Paqueta. Paqueta slides it to his left. Emerson. Cross comes in. Good block by Sanchez. O'Bonnor tries to get a shot away. Richarlison loses balance. Oh my goodness! West Ham nearly scored. Jared Bowen slides one across the face of goal. I think Souček was stretching. Antonio was stretching. Neither could get a foot on it. And West Ham were a whisker away from winning the game.
I can't work out how that's not gone in. It's a long throw, bobbling around the box. Kehrer again, the centre half, put a ball in. It's dropped down to Bowen, and it's agonising across the goal line for West Ham.
Yeah, Bowen on the volley does brilliantly to hook that across goal. Antonio's in the right position, it's just beyond him, and actually Souček is too far beyond the far post to get the touch. But goodness me, David Moyes' reaction tells you everything. He cannot quite believe that hasn't gone in. And again, last season for Jared Bowen, those kind of things were happening. They're not this season, but I think encouraging signs for West Ham.
He's done the right thing, he's just bobbling around, he's under pressure, he's hooked the ball towards the goal, and I think Mikel Antonio maybe doesn't know it's coming and could have had a slide and had a tap in, but that's how it goes.
All over at the London Stadium, the full-time whistle blows. West Ham 1, Tottenham 1. Tottenham taking the lead in the first half on the counter-attack through the Thilo Kehrer own goal. Determined fight back from West Ham in the second half. Wonderful equaliser from Thomas Souček. It was a poor Lloris clearance out from his penalty area. It went out for a throw, and West Ham at that point, James, reacted far more quickly and got themselves. I think in the end we're saying a deserved equaliser in the game.
Yeah, I think so. Like you say, there was a lot going on at the time. The referee was the Tottenham players were arguing with the referee or having words with the referee, and the West Ham team were just sharper, more on it, got on the ball and made it happen. And like you said at the end, looking at the game and the possession, I think a point for both teams is fair.